So one of the things about Xenoblade Chronicles is that you need to level up. It's an RPG. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how to level up fast, or at least the fastest way as of right now. There might be better ways and faster ways to come out down the road, but as of right now, this is the fastest way that I've personally found that can give you a little bit of an XP boost, if you will. Now, this method does require you to unlock the chain attack ability, which it happens, I guess, a little bit later in Chapter 2, if I remember correctly. So maybe like 5 to 7 hours into the game, depends how fast you actually play. So if you guys do enjoy this one, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more Nintendo content. We do everything Nintendo here on the channel, from guides, walkthroughs, playthroughs, Nintendo news, you name it, we got it. It's all here on the channel. Now, the first thing I'm going to note before we actually jump into this is you'll see on the right hand of the screen right now from the clip I've been playing from the intro of this video that I have an XP bonus of over 500, almost 600%, which is going to give me a massive extra amount of XP. I'll show you guys exactly what that means and how to get it done, but this is why you need to unlock chain attacks.
That was incredible!
Okay, so the idea is to find an enemy that has either blue wings beside its name or red wings. Now, the one with the red wings beside its name is typically a little bit harder. And the reason you want to find these kind of enemies is, number one, is typically the battle's going to last long enough for you to actually fill up your chain attack meter. And so you want the level to be around your level or a little bit higher. For the blue ones, it could be, you know, around your level. I'm level 19. This one's 18. But that said, I didn't actually just solely fight this enemy. What I did, and this is another method you could use even, you know, if you can't find any of the blue winged or red winged enemies. Again, you can see like the wings beside the name. That's what I'm talking about, right? If you can't find any of them, what you can typically do is if you can find a field of a bunch of different, or like an area of some sort of a bunch of different enemies, what you can do is you can start attacking one, and before that one dies, make sure that you go and you move on to, you know, start attacking a different enemy to get that enemy in on the battle. Because if you're only fighting one enemy, or let's say two, and they die, the battle's going to end. So the idea is that if there's a bunch within like a space, as you traverse, you know, from one enemy to the next, so you continuously engage in new enemies, then you're going to continue the cycle and your chain attack can continue to build. Does that make sense? What I ended up doing with this enemy is there was a bunch of similar enemies before it, but without the wings. And by the time I got to this one, I'd already fought, you know, I don't know, it was like 3 or 4 or 5 of these enemies. And then I got to the winged one, and I already had a full chain attack ready to go. So the idea is what you want to do is you want to wait till the health bar is almost at the very bottom. The reason for this is what you just seen on screen, overkill. You want to send this into overkills, because when it goes into overkill, that's when you're going to get the XP bonus. That's kind of the whole idea. Now, the reason you want to go against either the blue winged or the red winged enemies is because when you defeat them, they also give you an XP bonus, typically like 250% or something like that. So you got the XP bonus from your chain attack, which is why you want to use chain attacks, and you also got the XP bonus from fighting these you know, winged enemies, if you will, right? So you want to kind of drag on the chain as long as possible. If you don't know how to build up the chain meter in the first place, by the way, you basically just time using your arts at the right time, right? So basically, as soon as you land an auto attack, you use your art, and that you'll see kind of like a blue ring around the you know, your attack, I guess, essentially, and you'll see a little bit of the chain attack meter kind of go up bit by bit. So just make sure you're doing that and you're building it up, and then to continuously, you know, drag on the, you know, whole chain attack. I mean, once you get to the chain attack you know, portion of the game, like I said, it's like kind of later in Chapter 2, it'll teach you how to do it. Just make sure that you're, you know, reading the tutorial. You can also go into the menu of the game and you know, reread the tutorial if you're not sure how exactly it works. But anyways, you can just kind of learn how to extend it as long as possible, do as much damage, because the more damage you do, you can see the XP bonus goes up. Now, apparently you can go up to maybe like 1,000 times XP bonus or so. I've gotten it to around, you know, close to 600% almost in one battle. But right here, you see I conquered it, and you see it has an XP bonus of 250% for defeating one of these blue winged enemies. The red winged ones, I think, give even more. I can't remember. So I just got like, you know, over 500% from my chain attack, and then over an additional 200 and something percent from it being like one of those enemies with the wings around its name. So that's kind of the idea. So if you can continuously do that, and you know, eventually these enemies will respawn as well, but if you can continuously do that, then you'll continue to build as a lot of XP and level up your characters, you know, kind of the fastest way that I've found so far. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Let me know if you have any questions, or let me know what you guys think of this method. If it does help you out, leave it a like, subscribe for more. One last thing I will mention is that if you want to know exactly where I was doing this specific fight, it's right here in the Fornus region. If I'm pronouncing that right, I have no idea. And then you go over to Zem's Crossway over here. This is like the beginning of chapter 3, just so you know. So it's about, I don't know, maybe roughly 7 to 10 hours into the game, again, depending how fast you go. So basically when you spawn in, if you go all the way down here, they're not going to be here because I filmed this portion after already fighting them. They will, I don't know how the respawn cycle is. I don't know, maybe you could just kind of advance time, and that's what causes the enemies to respawn. I'm not 100% sure as of right now, but this field right here is where I was fighting them. There was a bunch of enemies, and just kind of, I went through one after the other, just kind of that method I was talking about earlier to kind of add longevity to the battle in case you can't find any enemies that are, you know, strong enough to, you know, lengthen the battle, but not strong enough that you're going to get absolutely smashed, if that makes sense. So anyways, that's pretty much it. I think that covers it all. Let me know, like I said, if you have any questions down in the comments below, and what you guys think of this method. If I find any other kind of helpful, useful, either XP gain methods or anything else regarding Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I'll let you guys know with some more videos here on the channel. Of course, like I said, we do obviously cover everything Nintendo, so there's guides for everything that comes out pretty much for Nintendo, Pokemon guides and Zelda, and you name it, we got it here on the channel, plus, you know, Nintendo news and playthroughs and walkthroughs and live streams, everything. So stick around for more. Stay safe, stay well. Hopefully you guys are enjoying Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and until the next one, friends, game on, and thanks for watching.
Good thing we found this.